It's your boy, Just Dom, catching the day's latest news. What's going on around the roads? Find out here first at the TCP NewsBreak.
Hello and welcome back to the TCP NewsBreak. It's your girl, Lady L, and I am here interviewing Dr. NewsBreak of the School District of Lancaster. We haven't talked with Dr. Rao since the beginning of COVID, so I'm really excited to hear what updates have been going on and for you guys to hear what's going on as well. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the TCP NewsBreak. This is Lady L, and I am here interviewing Dr. NewsBreak. Hi, Dr. Rao. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
I'm so glad that you were able to join us again. We haven't seen you since the beginning of COVID, so it's been about 8-9 months. It's
That's right. That's right. We did something together at the YWCA.
Yep, and it's COVID kind of changed the timeline of everything.
Yeah, it's turned everything upside down.
With COVID changing everything around, how has it challenged the district? How has it challenged your team and the staff? And how are you guys overcoming?
So, when school first closed in March of 2020, no one was prepared to go to full remote teaching and learning, right? Because that was not the business we were in. So our first thoughts were, first we got to get devices for every child, because we did not have a one-on-one device program like many of the suburban schools did, right? So we had one-on-one in grades 6, 7, 8, and 9, but not in the other grades. So our first job was we need to order those devices, which was hard because everybody else in the world is ordering devices. We also made sure that we wanted to keep feeding our students. So we had lots of volunteer staff come to our schools and, put together these lunches and hand them out. And then, we all expected that we were all going to come back, that it was all going to be over in the summer. And then we were going to come back, in the traditional sense. So, we did spend a lot of time training our staff, but again, it wasn't, our instruction then was not as strong as it is now, because now we've had lots of practice. When we first went into remote teaching, that was new for all of us.
Did the summertime kind of give you guys a chance to kind of catch up and be able to learn more and kind of grasp and look ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. We started professional development through those March, April, May, and then we had more in March, in the summer. And we even had a summer program virtually for students, because we also realize, and it's nationally, all the research is showing that when kids are not in school, the achievement gap is widening.
Yeah.
And that is one of my main concerns. So it's having to have this delicate balance of how do you open schools so that people feel safe, and at the same time, you have to get kids in school, because as hard as our staff is trying, kids do not learn as well when it's full remote. That's why charter schools don't do well, the cyber charters, because kids don't do well just when it's fully remote.
Right. There's something about everybody kind of being in together, talking, learning together, hearing other children's ideas and that part. And I think
there's some good parts. There's some good parts. One of the best things that's come out of this is that our teachers are working together to create really creative lessons. So it's not anymore where everybody was sort of doing their own thing in their room, because this work is so hard and deep that teachers really started collaborating across schools, never mind across just one school, across multiple schools. So we've provided a lot of professional development, and teachers have been very creative, because it is hard to try and keep kids, especially young kids, focused. Today I was watching some lessons, and you could see some kids were like combing their hair, kid is eating his food, not really paying attention. So teachers are trying to really be creative in trying to get kids to focus. One of the things we changed, by the way, is initially we said, kids don't have to have their cameras on
Yeah,
because we thought there would be privacy concerns.
yeah,
But what we found was that kids weren't engaging because you couldn't see them. So their cameras could be on and who knows what they were doing. So now we have a rule that cameras have to be on. And if there's a concern about privacy, they could put a screen behind them like I have, right? You take a picture and you put it as your backdrop. And of course, there's always, one or two special issues. And the teachers are very flexible with that. But teachers also know that if a child's camera is not on, they're going to call on that child just to make sure they're there. Hey, Johnny, what's the answer to this question? Show me your face, right?
yeah.
Teachers said the same thing. It is so hard to teach when all you had was 25 blank screens with no faces. And body language is so important and teachers couldn't see, are they getting it? Are they not getting it? So our teachers have had to really work hard to try to make this work. But we also know we have a lot of kids who are challenged. Kids with special needs don't learn well. Kids who are learning English. It's really hard to learn when you can't even understand what the teacher's trying to tell you online. So we've had some accommodations we've had to make for some students. And every school has what we call a learning hub. So it's a small group of kids that are identified by the school to say, these are the 20 or 25 kids I am most concerned about. For whatever reason, maybe they don't speak English. Maybe it's a child who's all by themselves all day. So teachers and schools identified them, and those students do come to school for several hours a day so that they can really get the help they need to learn. And at the high school, kids sign up. So let's say I need help with math, algebra 1. So maybe I'll come in Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock. So we're trying to be flexible and give kids support that they need, at the same time ensuring that we are socially distancing and doing all of the other mitigation.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. And I know I have a little one who's doing pre-K with the school district, and I know like she loves the yoga and the different videos, and I really appreciate all of the things that the kids were able to bring home from school to be able to help support their learning. And I think that's something that we also forget to talk about. Like, yes, the devices are important, but so are all of those little books and knickknacks and the whiteboards and the manipulatives for the kids and everything. All of those things have made such a big difference in helping with educating the kids virtually at home, for us parents.
Yes, absolutely. The teachers were very creative in thinking, what are the tools that kids need at home to learn?
Yeah. So with the wintertime coming up and everything, how are you guys going to be implementing like winter days? Will there still be like snow days and everything like that? How's that going to work with going virtual learning?
So we have what we call flexible instructional days. So that since our kids are virtual anyway, they will keep learning even during the storm. We expect you to be online and learning. That way we don't have to make up the day at the end of the year. So if you call a snow day and no one's learning, teachers aren't teaching, kids aren't in front of their computers, then you have to make it up. And we would have to make it up at the end of the year. So what we're trying to do is we have 5 flexible instructional days, which means we're going to go ahead and learn remotely like we've been doing, and we do not have to make up that day at the end of the year. That's what makes a difference, because then it gets hot in June and July, and hopefully we'll be in school by that time too.
Yep. Now with the iPad distribution and everything like that, and I guess this is a question into the future, but when school is open and everything, would these flexible learning days be something that you guys would consider when the kids are back in school?
Absolutely. We expected to be back in school in September. So we had already submitted to the Pennsylvania Department of Education the application to do flexible instructional days. So we had intended to do that anyway during snowstorms. But, since we're remote now, it's just easier because now we already know what we're doing.
All right. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And so just moving forward, how are you guys going to be implementing the changes for, I guess, 2021, the kids coming back after the Christmas holiday break? Are you guys hoping to be going back to school, or are you guys planning for that or anything?
Yes, yes. Actually, we have a big group that has parents, teachers, principals, high school students, and board members on this team. There's about 15 or 16 people, and their job is to come up with an approach or a model that everybody can live with, because we want our kids back to school in the end of January. That's when the third marking period begins. And, you know, we know that it is really hard for our kids. The emails I get from students and from their parents, who are very concerned about their students' social, emotional, and mental health. It's not even about the academics anymore. Now it's like, my kid is suffering. My kid doesn't come out of their room anymore. So that is really concerning. So I have challenged this group to come up with a plan.
Okay.
And to come up with the plan together that we can all live with, so our kids can come back to school.
Awesome. Awesome. That's fantastic, Dr. Rao. And I think everybody gets a chance to have their voices heard on that committee, because so many times people say, oh, well, you're just making this decision by yourselves. And you can definitely say, like, no, we tried to involve everyone to make sure that this was fair and equitable.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what we did.
And so, and moving forward and staying in communication with you, how can parents best kind of stay up to date with you and what's going on?
So if we do not have your email, parents should be emailing to us. You go on our website and there's a form, and give us your information, because I send a parent email every Wednesday. I have about 800 parent emails that we send it to. So that's one way. So send us your information. We have a board meeting almost every Tuesday, and those are live streamed. So parents can go on our website and look for the link that says, live stream board meetings, which happen on Tuesdays. And we have so much information about COVID and resources. Everything is on our website, including how to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
And Dr. Rao, you do a special like YouTube kind of video for like parents in the community to kind of stay aware on what's going on. How do they get to that?
Same, everything's on our website. And by the way, now that you mentioned that, a big thing we're doing now that we're going to need a lot of community input is, we are looking at renaming 2 of our schools. So we have just created the draft criteria. So the naming recommendation committee is reviewing that. We are renaming what we used to call Hand, and now it's called Southeast, right? So we're renaming that one. And we are also renaming Buchanan Elementary School. So there's a committee. Gosh, that must be like 18 people on the committee, teachers, parents, and community leaders on this committee to work together to develop a process and elicit names from the community. And we're going to pick a new name by the end of the school year for those 2 schools.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that'll be something definitely to be looking forward to in the new year. And so, guys, if you are interested in being a part of that, hey, go to the district's website.
Yes.
Everything that you need to know is going to be on there. Dr. Rao, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I want to tell the community, please keep in touch with us. We know this is hard, and we're here to support you. Thank you.
All right, guys, stay tuned for more TCP in the morning.